Hi students, this is a video for lesson 4.1 on proportional relationships. All right, so you're going to be determining if ratios form a proportion and solve for a missing value in a proportion. All right, it's supposed to be form, not from. Vocabulary, which is always important. All right, ratios, proportional relationship are ratios that are set to equal each other. Okay, so right here, proportion. There are ratios, 4/2 is a ratio, and 6/3 is a ratio, and these are equal to each other because 4/2 reduces to 2/1, and 6/3 reduces to 2/1. So these are proportional because they're equivalent fractions. Constant of a proportionality, a ratio between directly proportional quantities. Okay? Directly proportional. That's something that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, but that is a vocabulary word that you're going to see. Proportion, an equation that's stating two ratios are equal or equivalent. Okay, let me use that word instead. Equivalent. Okay, they're equal, but equivalent's a better word. So this is a proportion because these are two ratios, okay, that are equivalent. So let's do some problems now. So determine whether the pair of ratios form a proportion. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do this with two sets of different problems. Method one is equivalent fractions. So you're writing each ratio and you're going to reduce it to simplest form. Simplest form. So you have 3/9. So what goes into 3 and 9? You can divide 3 and 9 both by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Same thing over here. You have 10/30. So what's the highest number that divides into both of these? That's going to be 10. So 10 divided by 10 is 1. And 30 divided by 10 is 3. Okay? Yes. 3/9 and 10/30 are do form a proportion or proportional because both fractions reduce to 1/3 in simplest form. And they have to be simplest form, guys. If you only do, like 10/30 can be simplified to, if you divide 5 into both of them, it can be 2 and 15. And then when you look at 1/3 and 2/15, you're going to be like, wait, they're not the same ratio. But that's why simplest form matters. It has to be to the simplest, most reduced form of that fraction. So that's method one, equivalent fractions. Determine whether the pair of ratios form a proportion. So again, this is going to be cross products. You're going to be you're going to treat it like they are proportions. So you're going to set these two fractions and ratios equivalent to each other. We don't know if they are. We're going to set them equivalent to each other. And now we're doing cross products. Cross products is that butterfly because it's an equal. This is not the same thing as 14/4 times 24/6. You cannot do that over here. Because there's an equal sign, you can cross multiply that butterfly method like that. So 14 times 6, if you're not sure, work it out. Avoid that calculator as much as possible. 4, 2 is going to be 84. 24 times 4 is 61. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 96. So this should actually be 84 and 96. And let me clear that off. What you're writing here is 14 times 6 and 4 times 24. Doesn't matter which way you write it. You could write 6 times 14 and 24 times 4. They're both fine. These are not equal. 84 does not equal 96, so these are final answers no. 14 over 4 and 24 divided by 6 are not proportional because they're cross products. They're are not equal. Get into the habit of now writing complete sentences in your, like, in your answers. Okay. What I want you to do now is pause the video right now, pause the video in your notebook, work out these two problems. You can use either method. And there are times you're going to be mixing and matching. Use cross products. Maybe do one with equivalent fractions and do one with cross products. So pause the video. And now that you're back, let's see if your answers are right. I'm not working these all out. If you're not sure how to do this, this is where you come for extra help. But the answer to A is no. And if you're doing cross products, 75 does not equal 90. And for B, it's also no, because 147, if you're using cross products, does not equal 140. And I'm telling you right now, equivalent fractions is not something you may be able to do for every type of problem. You really need to actually learn cross products at some point. It is helpful. All right, example 2. Find the value of x in the proportion. So they're giving you a proportion now. They're saying 2 over 3 is equal to x over 15. You just need to know what the value of x is. So you're going to rewrite that 2 over 3 and x over 15. We're going to use this equivalent fractions method that we use on the other one. So you're looking at, you're trying to find x, so we don't know what we're multiplying to 2 to get to x. But we do know 3 and 15. What do you multiply to 3 to get to 15? That's 5. So you're going to be doing the same thing to the numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10. So x equals 10. That's using equivalent fractions. But I'm telling you guys that this is not a method you can use every single time. It really depends on the problem. Let's do the same problem using cross products. So you're going to set up your proportion. 2 over 3 is equal to x over 15. And now remember, you're using cross products, so you are going to use a butterfly method to do cross multiplication. You can only do this because there's an equal in the middle. So 2 times 15, 2 times 15. And you could always use that asterisk for multiplication, guys, or you can use, parentheses. You can do 2 times 15 like that, okay? However you want. Avoid the x because you see the variable x here. You really want to stop using x for multiplication in cases like this. And now the other side is going to be 3 times x. So 2 times 15 is 30. 3 times x is 3x. Same thing. And now how do we get x by itself? Remember, you did solving of equations last year, so this is 3 times x. What is the inverse operation of multiplication? That's division. So you're going to be dividing 3 to both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1x, so that's where you're getting your x. 30 divided by 3, so 3 times 10 is 30, so it's going to be 10. That's your answer. Same answer, 2 different ways, okay? I am on team cross products because you just use it so much more. Getting in the habit of learning how to solve proportions is really good for your math future. All right, pause the video right now and try these 2 problems and really try them on your own. Okay, welcome back. Again, I'm not doing the entire problem for you guys. If you're not sure of it, this is where you come for extra help. But for A, your answer should be 18. And for B, your answer should be 24. And if you don't get these 2, really you need to ask a question or come see me for extra help. Example 3. Write a proportion for the following phrase and solve it. $4.30 is B in 45 minutes. So you can see how I set it up. You have dollars and you have minutes. So I'm doing dollars over minutes. So all your dollars are going to go on top and all your minutes are going to go on the bottom. So dollars is 4 over 30. And this is going to be B over 45. This is where my B's kind of look like sixes, or that's what my students in the past have told me. And now again, I'm on team. See, if you notice over here, this is where equivalent fractions doesn't work, because what do you multiply to 30 to get to 45? There is no clear number that you know in your head to get it. So you're going to need to learn how to do cross products. So cross products is multiplying this and multiplying that. So 30 times B and 4 times 45. 30 times B is 30B. 4 times 45, let's work it out. If you're not sure, multiply it out. I think it's a better way of doing it than using a calculator. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18, so 180. Now, again, multiplying here, so that means we're going to divide. So you can cancel out these zeros because there's a 0 in the numerator and denominator, so 18 divided by 3 is 6. So B equals 6. You could always check your answer if you want. So you can always replace it. Do 44 over 30 is equal to 6 over 45. Cross multiply. We know that 4 times 45 is 180. 30 times 6 is also 180, and it checks out. This needs to happen. So this is a really great way of checking your own work. Now pause the video, okay, and work out the problem on your own. Okay, so for this, your ratio should be 7 over 60 is equal to A over 90. And after you solve it, you're going to get A equals $10.5. I forgot the units in the other problem. Oops, sorry about that, guys. And again, if you're struggling with this problem, please come see me for extra help. And your last thing to do is on your own, on a piece of paper, work out these 4 problems, take a photo, and insert it into your slide 12. Okay? I hope you understand proportional relationships. Bye, guys.